What up, what up, what up? Happy Tuesday, happy Tuesday. Man, I'm feeling great. What?
I'm keeping the dog warm.
What is going on, everyone?
It's cold.
How's everyone doing on this beautiful Tuesday that you were listening to this on, or if you're listening to this on a Wednesday, Thursday, Friday,
That's what we're doing.
Whatever day you are listening to us on, what's going on?
It's cold.
I hope your day is going great, and you're not being, having your eardrums blasted by someone.
Excuse me, I did not blast someone's eardrums.
Yeah, I'm sure.
No.
I'm sure someone's sitting there like right now in their car like, yeah, you did. Like,
you're welcome.
Oh man, we got a lot of stuff to get into as always, guys. But before we get into it, let's start this up, all right?
All
righty. What's going on? I'm Shadell, host of PagingTheSimpsons. I'm joined by my lovely fiance,
Lauren.
And man, I did not ruin that at all. Look at, I'm killing the game.
Proud of you for once.
Killing the game. Get ready, because like in a month, that fiance is gonna change to a wife, and she's gonna be like, she's gonna be exactly like that. She's like, oh my god, he said it.
Actually, it's 5 weeks away.
What?
It's 5 weeks away. This Friday, it'll be exactly a month.
Okay, you know what I'm excited for, guys? They'll call me a loser.
You are a loser, because that's all you're thinking about when it comes to the 15th.
Don't call me a loser. I feel
he doesn't think, oh, wow, a month away from our wedding. No. You know what he thinks of? You know what he thinks of?
Yo, I hate when people say, like, oh, you guys excited about the wedding? I'm like, yeah. I'm going to say, yeah, I'm excited. But it's not, the wedding's not for me.
When people ask me if you're excited, it's awkward, because I tell them, I'm like, not really. He didn't really want to get married. He's just doing it for me. Like, and it's this whole awkward conversation of like this sounds really bad when I'm talking to someone else.
It sounds like it, because when you say like this person doesn't want to get married, but it's not like I don't necessarily want to get married, but it's like, okay, if that's what you need to have in your life to make it like official to you, sure. But for me, I grew up with parents that weren't married and things are still running fine. So I don't look at marriage as anything that's gonna, like, we're not gonna get married and our life is gonna change and it's gonna like turn great. Like, I don't care. It's just an event.
Wait. Is it bad? You saying turn great? Is it bad?
I wouldn't say it's bad. It's not gonna turn it.
He's nervous now. Look at.
It's not gonna turn into one of these like Hallmark movies. Okay, that's what's.
We need to hook you up to a lie detector test.
No, we don't.
Yes, we do.
Yeah, you know what? You don't want that, because when I tell you the truth, and I'm like, no, I don't like this. Yeah, you take it somewhere, and I'm like, dog, I'm gonna be honest with you. That's just me. Like, if you don't want my answer, don't ask for it. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Pika.
Yeah. So, guys, don't judge me. The people that are with me that understand where I'm coming from, thank you. But yeah, Pokemon is coming out Friday. I literally bought a Switch like 2 months ago just so I can buy this game. I'm sorry. It's the kid in me. We all have kid things. What do you do? That's like a kid in you. You collect makeup. There we go. Talk about me.
I have more kid things than that.
What? Name them.
That's not really
You play Animal Crossing.
That's what I was going to say.
There we go. And you want to judge me.
Animal Crossing and Toontown and like all those kid games, the nostalgia. Yeah. Every now and then I'll log on Neopets, but then it's weird because it's just different now. Like,
you want to sit there and judge me. Because I'm trying to play with some little animals.
I'm judging because that's all you're thinking about instead of our wedding.
Exactly. I
think of both.
I know. I think about Pokemon.
You don't have the brain capacity
Literally,
to do that.
I'm taking off Friday just so I can play Pokemon.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
And go to the gym. Ridiculous. But majority play Pokemon.
Ridiculous. He has the luxury to do that. Listen to that. Mr. I never get sick and don't have to use sick days.
Yeah, that's so true.
Mm-hmm.
I always worry about that. I'm like, damn, what if I get sick this year and I need this? I'm like, it's not going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
And plus, if it does, I just work from home.
I mean, unless you're like dying.
I'm not dying, trust me.
Damn it.
Oh, man.
So close, guys.
Excuse me?
What?
Yeah, I don't think I want to get married.
Yes, you do.
Okay. That's fine. That's why I forged a prenup in your name.
What?
Huh? What? Let's talk about this T.I. story. No, I'm playing. So the first thing I want to get into is the outrage of this past week. Man, I want to talk about T.I. checking his daughter's hymen. And I know you got some words for this. I know this is going to be a spicy one.
Do you not realize just even saying that sounds awful? Just saying that aloud.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah,
and it's funny because we were just talking about T.I. last episode with this whole like wife thing with
I know, he was in the freaking thing you made. The picture.
Yeah, exactly. And now he's going to be in it for another reason.
Ugh.
Whoa. Okay. So did you hear the clip at all?
I think you showed me it, didn't you?
No, the clip of what you said.
Yeah, didn't I see it or you showed me or something?
I did not show you at all.
You were watching something, then I heard something.
Well, I was listening to a podcast that played it, so you must have been eavesdropping. But for the people that have not, then let me break this down. So T.I. was on an episode of Ladies Like Us podcast, where he's sitting there and he's talking to, I guess it's the wife, like, I don't know who this is, Nazini Mandy. I'm probably butchering her name. She's the wife of the singer Miguel and a makeup artist, Nadenia Moham, who's a 39-year-old. Oh, wait. Oh, yeah. Talk about T.I. for that part. But, yeah. So he sat down with Miguel's wife and a makeup artist to have their own podcast. And, man, it was juicy.
Okay.
I'm trying to find the right part here. So, man. So T.I. goes and he explains this one time on the podcast of when he went with his daughter to the gynecologist. And here's a little excerpt of this, like, of what he said on the podcast. He goes on to say, so it's this one time we go. I think this might have been after her 16th birthday. This is what we do. Right after the birthday, we celebrate, he said. Usually like a day after the party, she's enjoying her gifts. I put a sticky note on her door. Gyno, tomorrow, 9:30. Yo, your face. Anything to add at this point?
Ew.
So he continues on to say, so we'll go sit down and the doctor will come in and talk. And the doctor's maintaining a high level of professionalism. He's like, sir, I have to in order to share information. And T.I. looks at his daughter. He's like, Deyjah, they want you to sign this so we can share information. Is there anything you would not want me to know? See, Doc, no problem.
I have a question, though, because I thought on the podcast you were listening to, they said 18. This says 16?
She's 16. I'm not sure people are getting 18. She's 18 currently.
Okay. Interesting. So even at 16, you have to, I guess.
I mean, yeah, I would assume so.
Well, because I don't know. When is like the cutoff of that? I just assumed that with minors, or maybe it's different with specialists.
I don't know.
Because I feel like your family doctor, like if you're a minor, they just would tell the parent anything. I don't know.
And then he goes on to say, and so then they come and say, well, I just want you to know that there's other ways besides sex that a hymen can be broken, like riding a bike, athletics, horseback riding, and just other forms of athletic physical activity. And then T.I. goes and says, so I say, look, Doc, she don't ride no horses. She don't ride no bike. She don't play no sports.
She may be riding something else.
Just check the hymen, please, and give me back my results expeditiously.
Oh, is this why everybody on Twitter is making fun and they'll say expeditiously now to everything?
Well, yeah, it's his podcast name. Like, come on now.
Okay.
Man, look at that.
I got it now.
You need to be a part of the
No,
culture.
people are like mocking it and it's funny.
Yeah.
Now it's really funny. Okay, I get
Cancel
it.
T.I. expeditiously.
Yeah.
Let me stop. So I'm going to go with your thoughts because this is going to be an interesting one.
Yeah, let's go with my thoughts since, I'm the woman who has, a vagina.
All right, go ahead.
Go. So like.
All right, talk. Let's complete.
No.
Oh,
we need to talk about this. Okay? All these men with their penises talking about how the women with the vagina should act and handle herself.
What about it?
And all this. It's wrong. It's terrible. Why you get to tell me what to do with my body? You know, he was listening to his podcast today with Charlemagne and whoever else.
Andrew Schultz.
Yeah.
Idiots.
And they're over here like, I'm in favor of it. I agree with it.
First off,
and they sound like idiots.
Okay, first off, it was majority Andrew that was saying that, and also you have to preface it that he's a comedian, so he's just saying things to get a rise because that's what he does on the podcast. So yeah.
Well, it worked. Because it's so annoying, okay? Literally. So this is the same issue, you know, how we talked about on the podcast a few months ago about how, like, the men in government are the ones deciding about abortions and birth control and all this different stuff.
Yeah.
The men?
Yeah, what about it?
All the white men that are sitting up there, like, with their little pens and papers.
What's the problem? I don't see a problem with this.
They don't go through any of it.
What are you
Why
talking
should
about?
they be talking about
They go
what we
through
should
it.
do?
They go through it. They have to see their wives and their daughters go through it. They go through it. And right there alongside of them.
Oh, yeah. So that's totally the same as actually going through it. Totally.
All right. Do you have a point to this or not?
This is too far. That's my fucking point.
Okay.
This is ridiculous. Like, okay, first of all, yes. Like the doctor said, there's a whole variety of ways that it could happen. There's also people, I think, that are not born with one to begin with. I think there's people that also have had sex and it's still intact. Like, there's a lot of actually, like, variables here. So like, there's that. Okay. And, I understand you getting all, like, nervous, you know, your girl, your daughter's a teenager and all this, you don't want her doing something stupid, all that, yada, yada. Okay. This is where proper sex education comes in. And as long as you make sure she's smart, she's doing the right thing, there's got to be a little trust, okay? Like, it's, you know, it's got to happen. You're not going to prevent it altogether. And there's that, and also the fact that it disgusts me that he's, like, talking about this so publicly and that he's making this like a trophy for himself.
So
because you're like, you're mortifying that girl. You're like, that's terrible to have to live with that and have that all out in the open, especially because, yeah, like, I don't know how it is nowadays, but I know, like, when we were younger and stuff, you know, the longer you're a virgin, it's more embarrassing, or it's, you know, people make fun of you or whatever. Well, you're just, like, escalating that 100 times now. Like, and it's just, it's nobody's business. And, I mean, it just, this whole thing just disgusts me completely.
So
I don't know why you were trying to rush my thoughts.
So,
sir.
I get where T.I. is coming from on this. Death stares.
Mm-hmm.
So, hear me out. You got to remember that even though these people have money, that they all have a background.
Mm-hmm.
All right, dog, can you stop?
With his penis.
Shut the fuck. God damn, yo.
I'm just saying.
They all have a background. And I'm pretty sure, I think Tiny, his wife, like, got pregnant, like, when she was real young. And, like, I get it. It's similar to, like, our parents and, like, how our parents went through something and they don't want us to go through it. So here they go being, like, overprotective, and they're like, I don't want this to happen to you because, you know, we had a tough time, whatever, all this stuff. Don't cut me off. So
you were trying to rush me.
No, I wasn't. Maybe I was.
Yeah.
That's the point. So I get it, where it's like, I don't want this to happen. I will say that, yeah, checking it at 16, and I guess he has done this as soon as 18 also, from what he says in there, because
18, you got no right. You an adult at that point. I don't give a crap.
Yeah, but it's
you
tough.
got no right.
It's a tough one because I see both sides. So I see T.I.'s side being like, I don't want my daughter to go through this, and then his mentality, from what I'm seeing quoted in this article, he's like, you know, as far if she's still a virgin, which works for T.I. because he thinks that's going to be a hard time for guys to stick around if they say, like, oh, hey, she's a virgin. Who wants that with all that work that you have to do that? And I don't know what logic that really...
Wait. What? That it's more difficult because she's a virgin?
Yeah, saying that, like...
Oh, so he's trying to set her up for disaster.
Okay, I don't know what that means.
He's trying. So if that's his mentality in his mind, he's trying to make it so she can't hang on to someone.
I wouldn't say that.
That's nice. Let's just completely control her every aspect of her love life. I
wouldn't say that. I don't know.
Because she doesn't deserve to like go through that like every other freaking teenager.
It's a tough one. And then it's like it's tough for the girl because let's say even if she didn't want to share that information with her dad, it's like you got it because you still live with your dad. He still probably pays for everything. It's like,
you don't got to. This is ridiculous. Because also, not for nothing, have they not thought of maybe this was more appropriate for Tiny to do with her? Is she not the mother?
But you don't know what the relationship is. You don't know. Like again, we're not in that family to understand it. We're looking from the outside in.
I'm sorry. Sure, I was closer with my dad. I still didn't want. I would not want my dad doing this stuff with me.
But
that's weird.
How? But you never talked about it. I get it, but if you didn't grow up like talking about having these conversations with your dad, then I could say like you could say like I wouldn't want this happening. But let's say if we had a daughter and then like I'd have these conversations with her, I wasn't afraid to and all that stuff. Like
but the difference is he's being controlling with it. It's not about just, let's be open and honest and communicate and all that and I'll help you through if you have any issues or whatever. No, it's like he's controlling about it.
I could agree. And it could end badly.
Yeah.
But I will say, as far as we know, we haven't seen T.I.'s daughter go out and do anything crazy in the public eye, so something's working.
I understand that. Here's the thing. We can come from all different crappy backgrounds and still come out well-rounded people somehow.
Uh-huh.
But, like, she can still end up resenting him. So and, especially when she gets to the point where she moves out and whatever, so she could just not want to be in his life anymore.
Okay, so let's go where you were going. So her 16th birthday rolls around. I put the note on her door. Still, gyno, 9:30 tomorrow. I have you go take her daughter out, or Tiny, whoever you want to use for this example. And we go. She gets the results. I see the results. Okay. I know this was, like, it's still intact. Do you have a problem with that still? Because it's still, the mom still went there. You just weren't there in person, but it still happened. There still was checked.
I mean, I feel like that, that's tricky. I feel like it's less of a bother because... yeah, parents usually do like share everything with each other about their kids anyway. So yeah, you're probably going to find out even if I'm just telling you and I'm like, shh, don't tell her I told you kind of thing. But like this whole checking, oh my God. Like, okay, it's like 16, I think, is when my first appointment was. And it's like, okay, it was like a lot because it's... First of all, going into your first gynecologist appointment is really nerve-wracking because you don't know what to expect. You know it's probably going to be uncomfortable, and it's this whole, like, experience. And especially if the doctor, is male, it can make it a little awkward and all this different stuff. And it's like, can I not just focus on trying to get through it and just see if my area is healthy? Like, that's here's the thing. As a gynecologist, like, that's the goal. Like, you just want to inspect everything and make sure that this person's healthy and good, they're not precancerous and they're not, whatever else, STDs, all that. That's it. Like, so it's like to be more invasive and to go that extra mile to be like, you have to tell me, is this intact? Is this, like, it doesn't matter. At the end of the day, like, it literally doesn't matter if it is or not. It doesn't have anything to do with your health. Mm-hmm. So it's like, it's annoying.
Okay.
It's annoying.
At the end of the day, you're telling me if Tiny would have went, or if you would have went with their daughter, you're fine with that, even though I'm still going to get the results the same way. So what's the difference of me going? If
I go with our daughter, I'm not asking about that, period.
No, we had a conversation. It's going to be asked about. You're going to send me the results. It's going to happen.
Shove it up your ass. Like, I'm not doing that.
Exactly. Once you give me the results, I'll place it somewhere.
Oh, my God.
Keep it for safe measure.
This would be an argument, then, between me and the guy.
But clearly...
Okay,
but...
Yeah, clearly he's controlling. I see that. Clearly he's, like, the big guy in the relationship, probably, or whatever.
Oh, my God.
Ugh.
Oh, my God.
Do you not think so?
No, I don't think so. You have to listen to their podcast with him and Tiny to like understand how they're. But I don't think so.
Well, then it's gross that she's going along with this. I think it's too far. Like I said, at the end of the day, you have to. I feel like you should be open to communicating about sex and things like that with your kids, so that they feel comfortable about coming to you with questions or worries or whatever. But that it's really just the education part. As long as they know what to do, there comes a time when you have to just trust that they're going to know what to do. Like, it's going to happen. Obviously, you're not going to be there, and you just have to trust that you and the school or whoever taught them right.
I don't know. I guess I'm 50-50 on it, because it's like, I see T.I.'s point. If you've been through... I'm breaking it down the simplest way. If you are a parent and you have been through something, you don't want your kid to go through it, right?
But there's different ways to do that, like what I just said. It's less invasive.
That's
and
great.
You'll gain the trust of the child.
That's
more.
great. She'll do that with her daughter. Not in this situation.
And doesn't it suck that we always have to reverse the curse of the family, though? Why does she have to do it with her daughter?
But you got to understand, T.I.'s doing that with him. Like, he's saying, yo, I don't want this to happen. So, I'm trying to break this down. Like,
if she's smart, it won't happen.
But
it sounds more like he's just trying to control her whole relationship life, not even sex life at this point, because of what you just said before.
I just think it's sex life. Because if you say you're trying, like, you don't want a guy to have them because it's a virgin and guys want, I think it's a sex life when you're talking about the whole fraternity thing. So why else?
Isn't that like a trophy though too to some guys? So really, it doesn't make sense completely.
It's old school. It's an old school mindset because I feel like in this day and age, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
But I get where T.I. is coming from because I'm like, again, think of it as this happened to me when I was her age. I don't want it to happen to her. So yeah, and then like she may go and turn around and be like, no, I'm not doing it this way. I'm just gonna be like,
I don't like that you're agreeing with him. Period.
I didn't say if it's right or not. I'm just saying I understand it.
Mm-hmm. We're not doing that with
see, obviously, me personally, I'm not going to be like, yo, we're going to... I can, to be straight up with you, as long as your kid doesn't pop out and have a baby, do whatever. I just don't do it in my house. Shut up. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. She's going to go into something where it's... yeah, we're not even going to go on there.
I don't even know what you think I'm going to go into.
I didn't want to exploit your... or tell everyone your little thing there. See? Exactly.
What thing?
Hey, I'm going to keep it to myself because we're not having any edits at all. But nonetheless, sex is not happening in the house. Doors are coming off the hinges if a boy is in a room with another girl. Either way, whether it's our son and some other girl or daughter and some other guy or guy and guy, girl and whatever, it's not happening.
Yeah, because all the licking and sucking can happen too.
No naps, no freaking naps, sleepovers. What? That's not happening in my house. Go somewhere else.
Dang. All right, we'll talk.
What?
It'll be a thing. We'll talk about it when it gets closer. This is going to be one of those fun things as parents that we disagree on, and we're going to have to...
What? No, we're going to talk about it now. Hold up.
Oh, my God.
What? So you're like, oh, well, they might as well have sex here so they're in a safe place. Are you one of those people?
I mean,
Oh, my God. Dog, I do not want to hear this.
It's not really about the having sex part. It's about, like, I don't know. I did the whole sleepover thing, and it's like...
What? What is it?
It feels hypocritical if we say they can't.
It's my house, my rules.
I don't know.
Buy your own place. Like, no, that's not happening. You know, you're like, I think I'm gonna. Yeah, that's fine. He can freaking ride on that girl, dude.
Can you? All right, we're not gonna do this.
I'm just saying
that about future children like
that's
this.
what's gonna happen. But you're just like, I don't mind it. I did this. That's fine. No, I don't want that to happen. I don't want to come home and then freaking come into moaning and my kids.
All right, babe. This is going way too far.
No, but I'm giving you an example of what's gonna happen. I don't think you realize how real this will be if you're like, right. I don't care.
All right. All right.
Oh, what? You want to stop?
Yes. This is annoying.
No, it's fine. It's fine. We'll go.
Anyways, I want to flip the script and be like, why aren't we talking about boys at all? Why is it all on the girl's hymen?
Okay, but understand.
It takes two to get someone pregnant.
So stop it. Stop right there. I think because I feel like it's a bit easier to control a boy than it is a girl in my head. Maybe I'm again.
Do you not realize that boys are so much hornier the younger they are than girls statistically? Women come into their height in their mid-30s. Boys are in their height at like 18.
But I could feel like I could tell like my future son to be like, yo, you get anyone pregnant and it's not happening. You're out of the house. I'm not playing that game. And they will take it seriously if it's coming from me. Like, I'm not playing that. Versus a girl, I'm like, I'm not sure if I could trust that.
I thought of a really dirty joke.
Because the reason I can't trust it for a girl is because they'll avoid what their parent says and then probably get talked into it by some guy or some girl or whatever. I feel like that. So that's just me.
Yeah, and the guy can do the talking into it part. I don't know. I
don't feel like you have that risk when it's a boy. That's
so
what I'm
he
saying.
Could just be putting his dick in anybody and it's fine.
Nope, I did not say that.
But the girl has to be abstinent until she's 50.
I did not say that. I'm telling my kids straight up, like, it's not happening.
What's not happening?
Sex is not happening.
Till when?
Until you get another place for any of them, boy or girl.
You realize that is not realistic and that is not going to happen.
It is, and it will.
That is exactly how you get kids to sneak around.
Dog, if they get pregnant,
and get in trouble.
Okay, how about this? Here's the general rule.
You realize cars are a thing.
Shut up.
Like, there's totally ways to make
Here's
this
the general rule. If they own the car, sure, that's their car. If it's my car, if it's my car, your car, it's not happening. Heck out of here.
Ew,
if it's it has to be under their roof. The car is technically their roof if they own it. Okay?
Oh my god. So you'd rather our kids get arrested?
Okay. I mean, clearly they're stupid. They deserve it.
Oh my god.
Natural selection, right?
Oh my god.
but I'm saying it's still the general rule. Like, if it's a boy or a girl that we have, I'm gonna be like, yo, don't get pregnant. Don't get a girl pregnant. Like, nonetheless, if they want to take that as in like not having sex with someone or whatever, take it how you want to take it. The point is, don't run that risk.
See, like I said, I'm more the person, I want to be there to be, you're the type that's making them so they run away. I'm the type that's making it so that I'm open if they have concerns or questions or like.
Or if they want to have sex in our house. I get it.
No, but if they, like.
I get it. It's
fine. A fine line that you have to obviously be smart, and yeah, you restrict things to a certain extent, but if you restrict them too much, they're gonna rebel, and then that causes even more issues. Mm-hmm. To turn a blind eye and just be like, my kid would never, like, that's naive.
I'm not saying they would never. I'll just say I don't want to know about it, and I don't want it to happen because it's going to run you the risk of getting someone pregnant or getting yourself pregnant.
So then if we have a boy and you say, I don't want to know about it, and that boy doesn't want to come to me to talk, obviously, and they want to talk to you, but you're not making it so they can talk to you. That's not going to be easy.
What does that mean, though? Because I'm not saying they...
He's concerned because his PP doesn't go up.
I hate you. That's different. What are you talking about? That's different.
It's itchy.
That's different, though. I'm talking about sex. I'm talking about sex and getting someone pregnant. You're talking about someone knowing if, I can't get my... Yeah.
There's a lot... I'm just saying, there's a spectrum of things they could say.
That's different. I'm talking about sex. When it relates to sex, I don't want you or yourself to be pregnant at the end of the day. But if it comes to something else sexually where the girl is having whatever problems or the boy's having whatever problems, sure, we can talk about it.
What if he comes to you and says, I think she's faking orgasms?
Why the fuck are you having sex?
See? See?
That's what's going to happen right off the gate. How long has this been happening? Yo, I'm getting the whip. Go get the branch outside. Let me...
Oh, my God.
That's horrible. But, I mean, that's probably off the first gate. If I didn't know you were having sex and you coming out of the blue with it, like, hold up. We got to talk about that first. I probably won't shout or anything. I'd probably, like, let's go out to eat somewhere or something and have a conversation. But, yeah.
Let's go out to eat and talk about it in public. That's not weird at all.
I mean, it's not really, because I feel like you don't really hear people's conversations. Like, you would have to go to a restaurant that's close up.
The waitress comes around.
My dick was burning.
I was literally going to say that. Oh, my God. I was literally going to say that.
Yeah, that lady would be like, what did I just walk into?
So you wanted fries with that? Like...
Oh, God. But I keep it the same. I'm not saying like I'm putting more pressure on the girl or guy. I'm just like, at the end of the day, I don't want an extra responsibility. Like, I want you to be responsible with it. Again, yeah, sure, we can talk about it when we get down that point later, when they comes around that age. If you want to go and supply them condoms to ensure that, sure, if you're that type of mom that you want to be. I just don't want to deal with it.
I'm not a regular mom. I'm a cool mom.
Yeah, the kids have sex right on the couch.
You don't know what that's from. That's why it's not funny to you. But I'm sure half of our listeners do.
Okay, Karen.
You called me a Karen. I don't have the Karen haircut.
Oh, God.
It doesn't apply.
Okay, boomer.
Sir, you're the one sounding more like a boomer.
No, I'm not. How? Mm-hmm. I'm an equal opportunist. That sounds like a millennial. Boomers normally just like, I would like it this way.
This is so random at this point.
All right, we'll move on to this next one here.
I just think it's disgusting. At the end of the day, he's dumb.
I'm in the middle. I don't support T.I., but
it's too controlling.
I don't know their family relationship for me to make a statement like that. Do you? Exactly. Move on.
The family's messed up.
Okay. So you have one here that you want to talk about, this Shane Dawson series update.
I don't know. I was just going to talk about it a little bit. It's kind of random, but no, he went on Instagram Live a couple days ago, and it was long as hell. I watched maybe most of it except the last 10, 15 minutes because it was at least 45 minutes long. I don't know. It was really long.
Okay.
And yeah, so he's talking about, because I think you and I talked about this recently, not on the podcast, how what was he going to do with the series regarding the drama part?
Yeah.
Because it was in the trailer, and that's exactly what he was talking about, how he's torn and he feels very stuck and everything, because I'll try to condense this because he kept repeating things and he was very anxious and going back and forth and all this. But how originally it was going to be a 10-part series. He was going to announce it as a 9-part and then be surprise, there's a 10th part. And there were 2 full episodes regarding the drama. He made the trailer back in March, and that's why it was in there. And originally the series as a whole was going to be totally different. It wasn't going to be as focused on the palette as this. It wasn't going to be as in depth. It was more, I don't know, a lot of the random stuff. He said there was more on the Morgan thing. There was an actual episode on that instead of the random bits they put in that last one.
I don't remember. Oh,
her about her trip and her channel and all that. And so, yeah, what I'm getting from it is he doesn't know what he's really doing right now. He doesn't know, because he also said it kind of felt like the last episode was the end, because it was ooh, it came out, but that they're still filming. They filmed the launch day, and they were going to do an episode on that, which he's saying right now is really stressing him out because there was a lot of stuff that went wrong on the launch day, and so it's stressful for him to edit and stuff. So there's going to be probably another episode or 2. It's just a matter of when and what does it entail. It's very interesting to see the people go back and forth in the comments, because people are on both sides. Some people are just tea, give me the tea, I need my fix, addicts. And then some people are basically saying, they're well, 1, it's unnecessary. 2, do what's better for your mental health. 3, you might open up wounds and just make things worse than better at this point if you're just rehashing it again.
Yeah, I can see that.
Because he even said, he's everyone's moved on. James had the palette he released again, and Tati has hers, and we had ours, and it just kind of everyone's moving on and living their best life and all that stuff. And he was trying to say how it's not like it's going to feature anything new. Like, he's not going to bring up stuff we didn't know. Mm-hmm. It's just a matter of it was kind of from his perspective reacting.
Yeah.
And because he was in it. Because, like, he said, what was it? That all this happened, like, when one of the last things of his palette was getting complete or something. So, like, they were just filming everything. Mm-hmm. And, yeah, so I just thought it was interesting because, I don't know, tons of people are watching it and eager to see what happens next. But it's funny because when he posted the Instagram Live, it was literally the same day I chose to look on Twitter because I was like, oh, haven't heard from him in a while. I wonder when we're going to get another episode. And I looked on Twitter and he talked about how, oh, thanks for listening to my Instagram Live today. And I just needed to get out. And I was like, oh, okay. And then I go over to Instagram and then, yeah, so.
I'll say the whole series thing was smart because, yeah, I did like, even though it didn't change or it didn't turn out the way you wanted it to turn out, I liked where it was headed and, like, I don't know, gave you a bit more information about the business and, like, the process of how things go and everything.
Yeah.
It was cool getting, like, that inside look that you don't really see as much because everyone's kind of secretive on it, even though it wasn't as detailed, but it was, like, more than, like, what you would normally get.
Yeah.
So I did like that. Yeah, smart business move. I probably wouldn't drop anything that was drama related. Yeah. Like, what's the point? It's not going to do anything for you. It's not like it's going to boost you with getting more sales to your palette or anything. It's like,
well, yeah, and he even said how, like, people are saying, oh, you just didn't post it before the palette because you didn't want to affect sales. And he's like, it would have sold out either way. Like, it has nothing to do with that. And then, what was the other thing you just said that sparked something? Oh, crap. I don't know. But yeah, he was, yeah.
I give him credit.
Oh, the other thing was he was saying how he doesn't know if he even wants this on his channel at this point. He's like, a year ago I would have, but just so much has happened that he's like, I don't even know if I want it there.
Wait,
like,
the drama stuff?
Yeah. He's like, because I've evolved, kind of thing.
I wouldn't put it out. Why waste the time?
It's been so long. And like I said, I feel, this generation is very interesting because I was thinking about that while watching this. It's like, it's almost like drama channels and all this stuff, canceling all that, is our generation's tabloid. Because, I remember, moms and stuff, like our mom's age, they would always pick up, like, magazines that had the gossip about celebrities. That are on the side of the grocery store stands. Like those kind of things. They'd be interested in, like, oh, and she's getting divorced from him, and oh, no, and, like, all this different stuff. So I feel like this is this generation's version of that.
Yeah, I can see
it's
that.
just kind of escalated. Like, because it's constant and it's a video and things go viral and it's more accessible because it's free and it's about, I guess, people that you would consider more real, even though they still are, like, rich and, like, above you in that sense. Like, they're like elevated and in mansions and stuff still. That you look at them as, like, well, they're not celebrities.
Yeah.
So, like, it's weird because I'm like, when did we become so literally addicted? Like, these people that, if you just watch the comments as, like, the video is going and they're just like, T, and they're like, drop that stuff. And, like, I need to see that. Yes, upload it. You, like, they're, like, going crazy. And I'm just like, when did we become this, like, and it's so, because if you think about it, it's so negative.
I feel like, I want to know, see, it's tough, but I feel like a lot of those people, I would assume, are kids.
Yeah. Well, that's what I'm saying. So I feel like that's this generation's tabloid.
But it's interesting because
drama.
If we were their age, and let's say we were shifting back to, like, our parents' time, well, dog, we wouldn't care about that.
It was a different time, yeah.
Like, it's so
like,
wild.
I remember when I was younger, like, I would, get magazines every once in a while, but it was nothing so frequent and necessary.
Yeah.
It wasn't like I was like, oh, I have to get this magazine every week because I need to see what's going on in their life all the time. Like, it would,
Yeah.
Like, these people are like, there's no boundaries anymore at all. And it's gone so much farther than just, like, paparazzi and stuff now. Because it's like people will show up at your house Like they've had those issues. Like even like James Charles had that issue where like
a lot of celebrities.
Yeah. No, but these YouTubers too and everything. Like
that's what I'm saying. Like I call them celebrities essentially.
It's like.
And people find it like it's no big deal.
Invasive?
Like with like Jake Paul, he was saying like he had to like move places and like you have to essentially if you're in that status like go to a gated community, and even those aren't really safe because Rihanna's house gets broken into. Chris Pratt, like these people that live in these areas, their house still gets broken into, and they're still in these gated communities. So it only helps you for so much or so long until someone feels like, oh man, I can do this.
I don't know. I think it's ridiculous because we have, if you think about it, we've gone so far from it. I think this drama happened in what, May?
Yeah, February, May.
February.
No, wait, May?
March?
I think March.
Really? Was it that long? It was a long time ago. And it's like the fact that people are so obsessed that they just need that you need to upload it and it's literally going to talk about the same thing.
It's not going to do anything. That's like
and that's why I think he literally said there's going to be nothing new. Like so so people could shut up. Like he's not going to be like, "Ooh."
And yeah. To kind of piggyback off this because it's in a similar realm, I want to talk about this guy named Jarvis that I did not know until this past week. So I just want to talk about this real quick.
Wasn't that Iron Man's thing?
No one cares about Iron Man. On to this topic here.
Okay.
So this guy was crying about a video game.
Oh yeah, you texted this to me.
Dog. So this guy Jarvis, he was permanently banned from Fortnite because he was using an aimbot. Like on YouTube, like making videos showing like.
You have to know that's wrong, though. You can't do that stuff.
He has a video of him saying he got banned from Fortnite. I'm sorry, dog. If I was to go speeding down the highway,
right,
making a video for YouTube, being like, "Yo, guys, look how fast I'm going,"
right,
and a cop pulls me over, right. What am I gonna do? I'm sorry, I was just making a video.
Right.
I wasn't trying to do anything wrong.
Right.
What?
Well, and that's the thing is, I feel like, yeah, we've all done it where we've all used a cheat code in a video game, whether it's, Sims or these, online ones or stuff. But you do know.
You're breaking the rules.
Yeah, every time you use that, you are risking it.
See, it's the thing.
And if you get caught, it's not like you can't be like, I did nothing wrong.
See, I didn't watch these videos, but I guarantee his username was in there. That's probably how they found him. And it's like, I watched, for example, I was big into like when Pokemon Go was a thing, and like I'd watch these people cheat. And like, I saw all the time this guy would have to make new accounts because they would keep banning him because they would see his name at the corner. So sooner or later, he figured out, oh, let me just crop the video so my name's not like showing at the bottom corner and I can still play.
Late.
I mean, it's not too late. It's just you just do that.
Oh.
So you don't get caught, at least through that way. And it's like, these people don't think about this. It's like you're cheating. Something's gonna happen to you.
Yep.
Like, I don't feel any pity for this kid to being like, oh my god, I'm sorry. I guess I won't be a part of the community.
Is it because he was making a lot of money off this?
No, he was just cheating. Okay. And especially you're
so
public.
He wasn't like big.
Well, yeah, he's a big person.
Oh yeah, so then he was making money off it, which is probably
off
also
Fortnite,
why it's making him upset.
Yeah.
Well,
Fortnite helped a lot of people. So it's this guy's also stupid. Because yeah, if you're a big person in any realm, let's say you cheated on some makeup thing or some YouTuber was making some makeup product and they cheated or they skirted around making a proper formula. Dog.
You want to talk tea?
You're gonna get caught, and it's like,
yeah.
And like, I don't feel bad for this kid.
Yeah.
He's like, oh man, I won't be a part of the community, all this stuff, and it's like, just find another game to play.
But you did it to yourself.
Yeah. And he has like some people like Ninja and all that stuff backing him, saying like, "Man, I feel bad for this kid. Like, come on." Like, but it's like, no, you cheated.
These are the kids that never got punishments growing up. Like, this is the generation that, when they would do something wrong, the parent would be like, "Okay, just don't do that again."
It's so stupid.
So then when they finally like, here's the real world and there are consequences, they can't handle it.
Yeah.
That's what it really is. And it's like,
And this
like
is showing.
You and I always talk about this all the time, how it's like that's why like parenting is like everything kind of revolves around how you parent your child. And it's like, yeah, it's like if you don't actually discipline your kids growing up, they're going to be in for a rude awakening when the real world hits.
And this is also showing to like other kids that are watching this guy, because he's only 17. They're like, oh, hey, I'm cheating here. You can cheat too. Like, it's all fine. It's fine to do this.
Right.
And it's like, it's not.
And he's being a role model for kids that are younger than him.
This guy has like over 2 million followers on YouTube. It's like, I'm sure he has others in other places.
And because that's the thing. And it's like, if we circle back and we talk about James Charles again, you know, he's, I think, 20 now. But he started when he was like 16 or 15 or 14 or something. Like, these kids, they're young enough to be influential to really young kids. And that's why it's a big deal that when they do these mess ups, that's why it's a big deal.
Exactly.
That you're even doing it, and then you have to handle it properly, and it's a whole thing.
Yep.
Like, because again, it's kind of like how, I don't know, I guess our generation looked more up to celebrities, and now people are looking up to YouTubers and social media stars.
Yeah, I can see that.
Because they're more, again, I feel like they're more relatable.
Well, yeah, because even I like the rappers that are like, that I can relate with, and like, yeah, because
so it's like, even though you know they have more money and more status and all that stuff, they come off as more relatable because of how they started.
Yeah.
So they make you think, oh, I can do that too.
Which, segue here, is Chrissy Teigen as one of these people that I would say she's a celebrity.
Well, yeah.
And yeah, she comes off as really relatable, and people rock with her and everything.
Yeah, I like her. She actually had a tweet the other day that people like got mad at.
What's cool about like Chrissy Teigen, John Legend, because normally in relationships, like when someone says something, like everyone goes after them, like as a couple. Mm-hmm. But like I feel like they're big enough to where like when Chrissy says something, she'll get all the flack, and John doesn't really say anything, but if he says something, he'll get all the flack. It's not like it's a combined thing. I always like when people are like, okay, we'll focus on this one person, not the whole team.
Right. So she said something a couple days ago. She tweeted, "My mom treats her AirPods like they're disposable, buys a few a month. She says that they would be easier to not lose if they had ... a cord." So it was a joke, right?
Yeah.
Like, it was...
People took it the wrong way.
Yeah. So, did you see this?
No, I didn't.
Okay. No, like, so it was funny because, you know, it's just, hey, no, here's what happened. Then, like, a day later, she's like... First of all, she was like, I didn't realize this would blow up. She's like, oh man, I haven't checked my mentions for a bit and didn't realize how many people were super pissed off about this. It was meant as a joke and exaggeration about how my mom doesn't realize AirPods are with a cord are headphones, but it came across as super tone deaf and icky. I promise I'll not always say the right thing in the right way, but I also promise I hate just disappointing or pissing you guys off. I'm sorry, and I'll do better to not be such an asshole.
Doug,
First of all,
my God.
I hate when celebrities have to apologize for nothing. And then second of all, it's like because I didn't look at the mentions, but what I'm imagining is people were mad because it's like, oh, that's so wasteful if she's actually buying a few a month and all this. Like, I'm imagining the people that are like, you know, with like global warming and repurposing and all that
being
stuff.
Like, no, you using all this money, and it's like, shoot, I'm jealous, I don't have it.
Like, I feel like
I can care less.
And it's like, it literally, to me, when I read that tweet, it was a joke. Mm-hmm. Like she said, it was an exaggeration. She's not literally, like, it's a joke. You can literally tell it's a joke.
See, I wouldn't have said sorry. I would have just been like, here's my joke, take it how you want to. And like, it's that simple.
Yeah.
Like, don't get salty at me because you can't afford even a pair of AirPods. Sounds like a personal problem.
Wow, babe.
I'm sorry. I'm sure anyone listening here is not gonna get offended. I would like to think, because like, what? It was just a joke. Like, it wasn't anything extreme.
It's
like,
clearly
heck
an
outta
exaggeration. Here. It's, you know, we do it all the time. Like, everyday people exaggerate and make it a joke. Like,
I would say it to my friends. I'm like, man, my mom keeps buying so many AirPods. Like, she needs to get once a quarter.
That's like if I said, oh my gosh, my mom, she makes the laptop go to the blue screen every month, so she's buying a laptop every month because she doesn't know how to use it or clean it up.
Yeah.
Like, do you really think she's buying it every month? She's an everyday person.
See, if that joke came from anyone other than Chrissy Teigen, then it would be fine.
Yeah.
Like anyone not famous, I'll say. If it was a regular person doing it.
Right.
Because it'd be like, okay, you're on the same level.
Right. But you wouldn't believe that they're actually buying it all the time. Yeah.
But it's like, at the end of the day, whatever.
People are ridiculous.
I bring up Chrissy just to say, dog, their video with Vanity Fair doing the lie detectors, this is why we can't have good things.
Why?
Because you saw how John's questions were so light, and then Chrissy, am I saying that right? Chrissy.
Yes.
I was thinking.
Her name is Christine, but Chrissy is what she
man, I didn't know her name was Teigen, right? Teigen.
Teigen, because she goes.
That's so weird. I've been saying the wrong name forever.
Well, it's like Rihanna and Rihanna. No one says Rihanna.
I'm never saying that. But like, damn, like,
which makes sense if you think about it, because Anna is ANNA. So like it makes sense that her name is Rihanna.
Guess what?
Like, said that way.
Guess what? You know what Will Smith told me?
What?
The chairs that have arms.
You know what? Don't use that when I said it to you and you didn't laugh, sir.
You gotta tell the people this.
He's like, no, so he made a TikTok video, Will Smith, and it said, arms, chairs that have arms, arms of chairs are just chairs for your arms. And I'm like, oh, mind blown. No, for real, because it's like then your arm is sitting on it.
Yeah.
Like a chair.
Yeah. And speaking of which, I always hated...
don't be bringing it up when you didn't laugh.
I always hated being in your car and you having a freaking, low arm.
I don't. Do you know
I'm leaning with the limp here.
Do you know how much I hate that too? Because my cars... So my first car had like a perfect one that you could like extend all the way, and it was great. Then my second car was slightly less than that, but still comfortable. And then this one is just all the way back. And I'm like, why is it every car I've had, it goes farther back? It's less and less comfortable.
You know what car can help you with that?
No.
No isn't like no you want
No
me to
isn't
tell
I
you?
don't want to know.
A Tesla. Got him.
That's it. Goodbye.
Oh, man. Yeah, but
goodbye.
I just want to say about that Chrissy Teigen and John Legend video. Man, he was doing light questions, and Chrissy's like hitting him with like, have you ever cheated? Have you ever done this? Do you think I'm imperfect? What are my imperfections? Like, goddamn. Like, oh my God. Like, questions that you do not want your girlfriend, wife, fiance, whatever to ask you because you're like, I don't want to hurt your feelings
What
at
are my
all.
Imperfections?
Nothing at all.
And this is where she'd be like, that's questionable.
It's like, damn.
The lie detector lady was so like kind because she'd be like, that's the truth, or she'd be like, that's questionable,
even though she's sitting there like he's telling lies,
right?
Well, I don't want to break up this relationship. I just thought that was funny, and I had to share that with you. Got any
there was one question, I forget what it was. It was one of the first ones she asked John, and I was gonna bring it up on here, but now I can't remember what it was. Not the did you cheat? It was like one of...
I forgot what it was because he's like, I do less.
No, that's a funny one, but that's not what I was thinking of. No, how she was like the sacrifices in marriage. And so he was like, oh, like I work less than if I was single. I sleep with other women less. And she's like, other women less.
Right.
Not at all, but
right, that's
less.
the key word. We're gonna be talking about this after, John. I don't know. I thought that was funny. Well, here's a good thing to know about the positive part about this podcast when it comes to women. Do you want to know this part?
I hope so.
I thought this was interesting. So Goldman Sachs is gonna give their employees all the new parents 20 weeks paid leave.
Both mothers and fathers?
Yeah.
Wow.
I'm hoping this starts a trend.
Wow.
You know what's cool?
That's 5 months. That's better than we've ever had here.
It's a little,
and it's paid, you said?
Yeah, paid leave.
Oh
my God.
That's a lot.
Also,
but I would hope so. Goldman Sachs, guys. Come on.
No, but so I'm hoping this becomes like the thing, at least somewhat of a standard
it's harder
everywhere.
For McDonald's, I guess. Well, it's not. McDonald's is rich.
I'm not talking about McDonald's. Not if you're a part-time person.
Part-time, yeah, but full-time, I think.
McDonald's is not going to give it to someone that works in at the restaurant. I'm telling you right now.
McDonald's, it makes bank.
You work at the headquarters, sure, they'll give it to you, no problem.
But that's the
you work at the restaurant,
what's ridiculous.
Okay, I'm sorry. Oh my God, dog.
She wants to say hi.
I forgot to come over. And I thought it was interesting. And another cool part. This is nerdy, so you're probably not going to dig it as much as I would. But so Apple changed their like privacy policy stuff. They're like, oh, we're gonna make this more like a product. You know how like a product shows you like all the key things about it and all that stuff.
Okay.
So they're doing it like that, so it's more understandable for people to understand like that information that you normally just scroll through.
People still aren't gonna read it.
I don't know. But I've been getting emails lately like YouTube changed it over because Apple made that change, and some other places have like started to change it because Apple made that trend. So I'm hoping this like thing that Goldman Sachs does kind of like pushes people.
Yeah,
to
but
make
like
that
you
change.
just said, the problem is it's Goldman Sachs.
I don't think so.
You just said yourself, a normal person at McDonald's will not get this.
A restaurant worker, yes.
Why?
Same thing, just like a Target.
Why didn't I not
deserve
deserve
Target
it?
employee.
Why? Why don't they deserve it?
Because that's just what the culture is, dog.
But see, that's exactly the problem.
I don't know what to tell you. Someone that works at Big Lots, someone that works at like these little places that for part time, even if you're full time that works at a store, yeah, you may not.
That's what I'm saying.
It.
I feel like full time employees should get those benefits.
Well, it's unlikely that you'd be working full time at these places.
No, not if that's all you could get.
I don't even think they consider someone that works 40 hours consistently full time.
Why?
Because I feel like it's up to them to like shift it. Like even way back when I worked at Target, yeah, I could have been having like 40 hours for a few months, but what does that mean? Full time for a duration of the year?
Well, no, if you're hired as something.
They're going to hire you as part-time. That's what I'm going to...
Yeah, that's something that stinks with these companies is there's always a workaround.
But that's what I'm saying.
So that it's more profitable for them, which is ridiculous. So that way they don't have to offer you like health insurance and all that stuff.
Exactly. So this won't
ridiculous.
work at like these little places. Like it's not going to work at Dollar Tree or Family Dollar, Dollar General. It's not going to happen at these
all
places.
The dollar stores all of a sudden.
I'm just naming these
as if that means they're not as wealthy, but trust me, these dollar stores be popping.
Oh my God. I'm not saying that. But I'm saying if you work at the offices of these businesses, you're going to get it.
And I like that in general, too, that it's for fathers as well. Because, you know, it stinks for both. Because a lot of times the women feel forced to go back to work after like 6 to 8 weeks, which is, first of all, that's not enough time at all. You're probably still not sleeping or showering. Like, it's like that. And then, you know, I do think it's so important to be there for, you know, probably at least the first 6 months. Like, yeah, like that's a really important year. And plus you don't want to miss the moments and stuff. And you're trying to adjust to new life, especially if you've never had a kid before. So for like the moms, it stinks. And then for the dads usually go back to work after like 2 days. Cause they're like, oh, I'll just take a couple vacation days while you're like in the hospital and like we just get home and stuff. But then I got to go right back to work because I'm using vacation days.
Yeah. Like, I've seen guys
money.
do this where like they take off like a week or two because they have to use their time.
Right, and that's it.
And
like
then,
because there is no paternity leave for a lot of places.
But it still like sucks. You still have to work and deal with the baby that you just got.
Well, and that's the thing is like it's like there is no like maternity leave is seriously lacking, and then there's basically no paternity leave at a lot of places, like at all. It's not even a thing.
Yeah.
That's why the parents of the kids that I babysat when they had their second kid, and the fact that both of them were on leave, they worked for the same company, both of them were on leave for 16 weeks.
Yeah.
That's amazing. Like if you work at the same company and like say both of you work at Goldman Sachs and you both get those months off, ooh,
yeah,
that's
I'm sure
nice.
you have like those rare cases. But
that's nice.
because it's not the majority that like people.
Because they can't say anything, you know?
Well, yeah.
Like,
but it's not the majority, so it's not that big of a deal. Like,
yeah.
What's the likelihood if you always having like a married couple that work at the same place.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, I mean, overall it has to get better because statistically there are so many other countries that are just way ahead of us in this department and have been. So like, it's ridiculous. Like, get with the program. It needs to be paid. It needs to not count as vacation or sick days. It needs to be longer. And it needs to not be viewed as like an illness or a disability, like a thing that's a problem. No, it's a normal life milestone.
Yeah.
Like, you can't stop me from having a child if I want to. Like, it's, yeah.
All right. Well, lastly, we're going to get into some relationship advice.
Okay.
This one's going to be an interesting one because it's around our age and everything. Yeah. So, this one, they have been married for 3 months, and they think they're over the honeymoon. Like, the honeymoon is over.
Girl, the honeymoon's been over for us.
So, she goes on to say, I, a 26-year-old female, married my husband, a 27-year-old male, only 3 months ago. Been together for 8 years. We were long distance for 2 years up until the wedding. After which, I moved across country to be with him. It wasn't until a little more than a month ago that I discovered he downloads a lot of porn onto a secure file on his tablet. We're talking... Oh, sorry. They messed up. Oh, no, that's what they're saying. We are talking hundreds of pictures and videos downloaded since we got married. Whoa. Whoa. Yo. Oh, man. No particular genre either. It's all like ages. All kinds of kinks. He doesn't know that I found this file because I know he would be angry that I looked on his tablet. I could tell when he has downloaded more because it has the time and date stamps. It always seems to be right after I leave for work or even when I get into the shower. I've heard him in the bathroom a couple times when he thought I was asleep.
Awkward.
I think it's been killing our sex life. He hasn't seemed to be in the mood very much, and when we do, he seems disconnected and doesn't often finish. I feel so inferior. I don't know how to bring this up to him, but it's discouraging that he's so secretive about it. The more time that goes by, the more it hurts. I feel like such a failure because we've only been married 3 months, and we've already having problems like this. I know marriage is hard. What I wasn't expecting was to be lied and deceived right out of the gate. Has anyone else experienced something like this? How do you cope? I know it's just porn, and I shouldn't be hurt like this, but it seems pretty unhealthy and deceptive. It's what's most painful of all.
Well, first of all, don't undermine it like that. Don't be like, oh, it's just porn. Like, no, like, this is a real thing that's actually affecting your relationship. But, like, I think one major thing here is that she said they were long distance for 2 years before the wedding. That's probably when all this was brewing.
Well, yeah.
So, it stinks because she's looking at it like, oh, we've only been married 3 months and this is happening. No, the problem is that you didn't know this was happening. And then you got married and then you found out because now you're together. And, like, that's an ouch, but yeah.
Exactly.
So, and it's interesting because then they were together 6 years before that.
Okay.
And not long distance. So, I don't know. So
I'm 2 years of not being with someone.
Well, yeah. So what I'm questioning is if this started to become like maybe it was innocent in the beginning because they weren't together like anymore, like in person, and then maybe he has an addictive personality and it just started to turn into that. I don't know, but I mean, clearly it's an issue because it does sound like an addiction. It doesn't sound like just I feel like wanking off today. Like no, it sounds like it's himself and him, like all the time, and that it's clearly affecting your bedroom life too.
Because I can understand if it's like, man, he's jerking off at inconvenient times, and then it's like, damn, when I'm ready, he's not in the mood.
Right.
But then you're talking when you're saying like you pull up his tablet and you see like hundreds of pictures and videos. That is just extreme.
Well, and the fact that he's hiding it. I
don't really hiding part.
No, and the fact that he's always doing it when she's not around, so she's either sleeping or at work or whatever.
You want me to jerk off when you're around?
No, but it sounds like it's it sounds like for him, it's any chance he gets alone, he'll do it. And like that's where now it's like it's an issue where it's like you have that hunger, and it's like, so that honestly is the bigger issue here, is he needs to get help.
Well, I would
because that's a real thing. It's not. It's embarrassing to people, but it's a real thing.
Well, see, if this was happening, and let's say I had this issue, I would want you to sit down with me and be as like kind and reasonable as possible, because you gotta understand, like, you would think this person, at least if I was in the shoes, like, you'd probably be embarrassed. Like, shoot, you found out about this like secret I've had, and like they're probably ashamed of it. So it's like you want to come in there being understanding. This is how I would take the approach.
I kind of take it as either you'd be embarrassed or you could be really mad, because I feel like a lot of guys would react with anger.
But you would madness would be the first, sure, but you're hiding like that. That madness is something that you're putting on the front, but you're really like embarrassed, ashamed. Like there's because you.
Yeah, you don't want to ever like make fun of him or get mad that he, you don't get hard, or you don't, finish with me or whatever. And like, you don't want to use that approach. You want to just, because it's like, I would talk to you about how, I feel like we're just distant, in general. And that, when we do get intimate, then I still feel distant from you. Like you're there, but you're not there. And that like, I want to connect with you and have like, these special moments with you and that kind of thing. And like that kind of rude.
I don't know. I don't like to be too pushy when I say things to people. So I try to be like,
how is that pushy? I'm just trying to be like,
what you were saying
real.
Was great until you got to like the last sentence. At least for me, I'm like, I don't know. If
what, connecting with you?
Yeah. Cause I feel like you said like, I don't know. In my head, it triggers something where I'm like, I don't know. It just triggers something in my. I can't like explain it. I'm like, I don't know about that part. You're trying to, like, I feel like kind of like the word that comes to my mind is like expectations, but
that's what that act is.
Dog, I just want to come in there and be as neutral as possible, not set my expectations with this person or anything.
That's
just come
out
and be as calm and like. I mean, I don't know what you just said because I just forgot it, but what you're saying sounds like...
connecting with you. That's just what it is.
Yeah, but it sounds like it's an expectation right out the gate, so now I'm like, I don't know.
Oh my God. Then that's a you thing, babe, because it's literally, that's what happens. Okay. That's what you do as a couple. I'm just telling you how
I would have this conversation with someone that's in this situation.
Okay.
Like, damn, you're getting so defensive. Like, are you in this situation?
No, it's just annoying that now you think that's such a big expectation when it's literally...
You gotta... Dog...
It's not that.
I treat everyone as we're kids, because even though we're old, we're maybe 20, 30, 40, whatever, we still learn as if we're kids. So talk to me in a chill tone, like let's like just make it as simple as possible and start building from there.
All right, then if you get mad at me for saying the word connecting, then that's a you thing.
Okay. But I'm just saying, if you're gonna trigger someone that you want to stay away from those words. That's literally what I'm saying.
But how would I know that's a trigger if I'm just trying to be kind?
You just don't say that part.
But I didn't know it was a trigger.
I mean, that's a bit of okay. All right.
Oh my goodness.
I'm just saying, like, I wouldn't go with that if I was saying, like, I wouldn't say that to you if you had this issue. I'm not saying
that's great.
I just want to connect with you. I'm just like because I feel like that's expectations, and I'm not trying to push any more pressure that's already on you that you're feeling.
Okay.
So that's how I would lead with it. Like, I'm just gonna say a little bit so I can gain information from you, because the way I operate is working off. I'm not sure if you do it with your clients when you're talking on the phone, but like free information, which is like, what are you going to tell me without me having to pry so much?
Well, yeah.
So that's what I'm working off when I go to have this conversation with someone.
That's when I always say, like, tell me about your big day. Like, you know, that kind of thing, instead of being like, so where are you getting married and where's your gown from? And like, what time? Like, yeah.
Like,
open-ended.
I like the free information instead of me always trying to pull for something, because I feel like it's more natural of a way to handle like a lot of situations.
Yeah.
And then, start with there. Like, see how major this is. It does sound major. And then, like, okay, do we have to go with therapy? Do we, like, what do we have to find?
Well, it stinks because, I mean, It may be a thing that he needs to work through more himself, though, too. Because I don't think, like, sure, you can try the couples therapy route, but
not couples.
It's more.
It would be him because we weren't together for 2 years.
Right. So this is a him thing.
Even though we may have talked on the phone every day of those 2 years or whatever, you're still living your life.
Right.
So whatever was happening during that time, something happened, and it's like you gotta talk it out, work it out.
I almost wonder if he did this because this, in his mind, was easier and better than cheating.
I mean, I would think so.
But that stinks because then, it still becomes a problem.
Again, no one's expecting for it to be this type of problem.
Yeah.
And
it really only is just a problem because of how, like, frequent and secretive it is. Because if it wasn't for that, like, everybody does it, whatever. Like, once in a while it's fine. But, like, obviously you want to have, like, a healthy sex life and be together and stuff and be able to, look forward to that and whatever. So, I mean, if it's not happening that much and then when it does happen, it's just, Like,
because
there's something going on there.
Comes down to it because it sounds like he's just desensitized and he's like, right? Man, it's not because if you're saying
it's a transaction at that point,
but he's saying like you have a bunch of videos and it's like all just different types and things like that. It's like, damn, whatever type of sex you guys are having may not measure up to whatever he's watching or into.
Right, it's like too vanilla, and then also the frequency at which he's doing obviously is impacting his performance.
Damn, doesn't your
like,
ugh, I can't imagine like doing that all the time as a guy.
He's still young, but
I know I'm around that same age.
Right.
Like, I can't imagine like, yo, my girl's in the shower, I'm gonna go wipe one out. My girl's sleeping right now, I'm gonna go.
And that is a stressful life too, if you think about it. That stinks for him too. That's a lot. You're literally controlled by it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I would bring up Kanye in this situation because he says God cured his porn addiction. Sorry, but he doesn't really go into detail of how that happened, so it doesn't really matter.
We're not gonna bring it.
You know what? Shh. At the end of the day, I would sit down with this person, be as non-judgmental, and just be the support and directing them into the right channel to like have the conversation with an expert because they're doing it to like, what do you call it? To like. What's that? I don't know what the right word would be. To like kind of hide something or mask something, fill a void, something like that. Yeah. That's what I would do in that situation.
Yeah.
What would you do if I was in that situation?
I already told you.
Yeah? You would help me?
I mean, duh.
You'd be my backbone?
That's the thing. And like, that's in marriage. You gotta sometimes, Yeah. Someone's gotta deal with the harder thing.
Would you get upset at me because I couldn't finish all the time?
I mean, that might be another issue all in itself if you're not addicted to porn.
Wow. Thank you.
What?
No, I don't know.
I'm just saying. You have to... At least she narrowed it down. She knows what the issue is.
I don't know. Yeah, that's how I'm feeling.
So that's the thing. Body parts can have all sorts of issues.
All types of issues.
All types of issues.
I think that's all I got. That's a little bit longer than we normally do, right? Oh, damn, guys. Yeah, I think we had a lot of good conversations, as always.
Yep.
On that note, guys, we're going to wrap this bad boy up. Man, real quick, though. If you're listening to us on iTunes, take a quick moment. Please give us a review on iTunes.
5 stars, 5 stars.
Let us know what you think. If you have any thoughts about this episode or past episodes that we have done, you can either send us a voice message through anchor.fm or an email at PagingTheSimpsons@gmail.com, and we will read your question, thought, play it if it's an audio version, whatever. Hit us up. Social media links in the episode, as always. Once again, I'm Shadell, co-host of Paging the Simpsons. I'm joined by my lovely fiancée,
Lauren.
And we will see you guys next week.
Bye.
Peace out.